In today's episode of Marketplace Finds, we have a botched Honda CR-V repair job, a Honda Civic with the worst modifications we've seen, and a Coffin motorbike sidecar that's sure to get some stares. I'm not a huge Mazda Miata fan, but how can you hate one of these goofy looking cars when it's got a massive V8 with the exhaust pipe sticking out the hood? Screw the dinky 1.6 engine, making only just over 100 horsepower. I bet this thing rips, probably making quadruple. The torque in such a lightweight chassis would be loads of fun. Who cares about going deaf from the exhaust or breathing in all the fumes as you drive? It will only make the car more fun to drive, and I'm sure the neighbours and your brain will love it. The bad side to this Miata is the interior and roof. Not only does it have the baby poop brown interior colour, it looks fairly destroyed alongside the many rips in the roof. You'd better own a garage if you want to keep this beast. They are after $4,500, which is honestly surprising, considering the owners usually think these are worth double that, so it doesn't seem like a terrible buy. I know we've seen a few lifted smart cars before, but this one might actually be my favourite so far. It's a 2011 smart car that has been put on top of a 2008 Polaris RZR, so you get the best of both worlds, having a comfortable interior where you won't get covered in mud or water while still having four-wheel drive and capable suspension, unlike all the other lifted smart cars we've seen. The interior looks tidy, and the power windows and the stereo still work too. This one even comes with the titles, and somehow is or has been street legal, which is crazy. The owner is after $12,000, which is too expensive in my opinion, even though I'd love to buy it. Now I'm not going to lie, I had no clue what the hell this thing was. Looking like something you'd find in your wife's bedside drawer, I thought it was some sort of odd motorcycle made for a speed run. It's actually a type of electric bike made in Romania, and is made almost completely of carbon fibre, often used for racing or big bike tours. The streamlined shape and seating position apparently make it more comfortable and easier to do those big distance rides. The owner is after $5,500, which considering they're almost $11,000 new, doesn't seem too bad of a price. When you crash into a pole, but your buddy says he knows how to do bodywork, and you end up with whatever the hell this nightmare is. It was once a 2007 Honda CR-V, but as you can see, it's undergone jaw reconstruction surgery from a doctor from Temu. The owner refers to it as the Mad Max CR-V, but the only resemblance it has with that is the crazy person driving the car. They even say the car runs pretty good, which is slang for it runs terribly, along with an exhaust gasket leak and brakes that need work. But at least the owner isn't delusional on the price and only wants $1,500. From the outside, this looks like a beautiful example of a classic Volkswagen Type 2 van. Now I don't know a ton about these, but obviously they are quite rare and good condition, and some of them can cost over $40,000. So if you are a fan of these, you might not want to watch too much further, as it looks great from the outside, but the inside has something surprising going on. That's right, it's a food truck that has a full kitchen, sink, fridges, grills, and everything else you need, somehow crammed into the back of this van, with the roof opening up to allow the chefs to stand up instead of developing scoliosis. I really had no clue from the outside view it was like this, and I bet a lot of you guys didn't either. Part of me is sad they modified such a rare, unique car to do this, but on the other hand, it does look great, and does retain the factory exterior look for the most part. They are after $13,700, so if you're wanting to open a food truck in an eye-catching vehicle, now's your chance. I don't drive a Harley, but hell, seeing this makes me want to buy one. As you can see, it's a coffin sidecar because who needs to go to the funeral home when they can just chuck your body in there after grandma cuts you off in her minivan to save a few grand. It's got this nice purple velvet interior, and even comes with a small skeleton if your wife doesn't want to ride with you. They are after $2,800, which is a steal considering the cost of coffins. If you just had laser eye surgery, you might have mistaken this as a Tesla Cybertruck, and seeing as it was made in 1931, it's probably more reliable than one. But no, it's actually a very rare and unique car made by the manufacturer Pierce Arrow. They made high-end handcrafted vehicles from 1901 to 1938, including some for a few US presidents and royalty. This one is apparently a land speed race car, and as you can see was unfortunately rusted out, and the plastic exterior had disintegrated before this owner did somewhat of a restoration, adding what looks to be aluminum foil or duct tape as a new body. They unfortunately don't say what they made the new body out of, but man does it look rough. They are after $28,000, which is a hell of a lot more than what I would pay, but perhaps that's what these old rare cars go for. I think we have the king of the stereotypical Honda Civic drivers with possibly the most Temu looking funded car I have ever seen. Everything and everywhere you look on this car has some sort of eyesore of a modification from the weird hexagon stickers, fake carbon fibre, and the absolute classic monster scratch by the headlights. Sometimes I think of all the cringe mistakes I've made in my life, but when I see stuff like this, it makes me feel a bit better, as it could be worse. Even the engine bay is quite possibly the most insane bay I have ever seen. There is just so much going on, but that certified white boy window banner really ties it together. You already know this thing is straight pipe too with the fart can exhaust, as the owner tries to grab any form of attention to fill the void their parents left inside them. At least the price isn't too terrible, being just over $4,000. If all this stuff wasn't on there, it'd be a solid buy. I've never quite seen a car match its surrounding area quite like this 2004 Pontiac Grand Prix. Probably what used to be someone's pride and joy has definitely seen better days now, sitting with dents, rust, and the classic tarp sitting on top to stop any more water getting in. If you thought the exterior was bad, just wait until you see the interior, as we've got some beautiful blue and red dash, possibly painted by Da Vinci himself. Don't mind the trash and grime, just wipe it away with the pair of what looks to be underwear on the seat. The owner is after only $1,600, but it does need a new rim and brake line. Nothing screams financial genius like paying more than the car's worth to airbrush some sick flames and dragons on your V6 Commodore. Honestly, I thought it was a Lord of the Rings themed car from the hood until I saw the scantily clad lady. It's probably a car most of you have never seen before, and you might think is something fast, rare, or unique with this wild paint job, but you'd be mistaken. These things are dime a dozen in Australia, and now the only owners are either granddads who have had them for 20 years or bogans looking for a cheap skid pig. I really thought from the outside it'd have the 5-litre V8, but not quite. It's got the non-supercharged version of the 3.8 V6, which is disappointing. Even the interior got some flame treatment on the dash and door panels, and as you can see, it's unfortunately our auto version. At least the miles are low, sitting around 45,000, and it's obviously being garage kept, as the paintwork has held up really well. The seller is after just below $3,000, which honestly for a car that has obviously been taken care of, and considering the mileage, it's a great price if you can stomach the verbal abuse from the V8 Commodore owners on a daily basis. This next one is an odd one, as from the outside we have what looks like a normal looking early 90s Volvo 240 wagon. It looks fairly tidy from the outside, just with some minor wheel arch rust, but it wouldn't be in this video if there wasn't something odd about it. The first hint being in the interior, as we have some not so factory looking bucket seats in the front, a Momo steering wheel, and if you have a keen eye, some non-factory gauges in the dash. The rest of the interior looks tidy, but let's move on to the gem in the engine bay, where we have a good old 302 Ford small block V8. This one out of a EFA Fox body Mustang that comes with some additional modifications like carb, intake, cam, and some racing lifters, so I bet it sounds great and makes some decent power. The owner is after $6,500, but it does still need some tidying up, so I think the price is a little high. Here we have another classic Lexus IS300 owner listing. I swear these people all share the same brain or something, as these listings are always insane. As you can see, it's been parked up in the owner's garden for the last 4 years, and I guess the bush comes with it as a bonus probably, alongside some mice. The description says stuff such as, quote, "If you're broke, don't message. If you're dreaming, keep dreaming. And if you have an opinion, tell your mama, because I don't care." So you already know what kind of idiot you're dealing with, especially when you see the price. They are after an insane almost $18,000, and I really wish I was joking. It does come with the 5-speed manual, which is rare, TE37s, and has the non-turbo 2JZ, which is a great engine, but not close to a factory turbo one. It has now been listed for 21 weeks, so thankfully no one has bought this clown's overpriced Dollar Tree Supra. I want you to take a guess about how much this fella wants for his 2001 Dodge Neon. We already know how these things are basically a lawnmower with ambition, but this one apparently does have a supercharger that the owner reports can go from 0 to 60 in 4.7 seconds. But I think we all know they meant 14.7 seconds. Now on to the price. They are after a bonkers $20,000. I really don't know who's more delusional, the IS300 owner or this guy. Ruh-roh, Raggy? The mystery machine is looking rough. Are you hitting mid-30s and starting to feel the march of time is catching up with you? Well, buy this 2000 Chevy Astro minivan so you can get that nostalgia hit of when you were a kid on the daily. Honestly, it's really not painted that badly for what was probably a rattle can job. I just don't get why it says Scooby twice on the back and has the same 3 pictures of him. It has driven a huge 270,000 miles, so it's getting up there, but it is for sale for only $2,600, which honestly seems fairly priced. Quite possibly the most serial killer looking photos I've ever seen on a listing. According to this seller, we have the garage find deal of a lifetime. It's a custom Shrek green trike that needs the classic just a little bit of work to finish it. It does have a 350 Chevy engine, making a huge 350 horsepower, which would be insane on one of these. So it's probably a good thing it's got those wide car tires on the back. The paint job does seem to be done really well. It's just unfortunate that the photos are done so badly. The owner is after $12,000 and considers it a steal for the money, but honestly, I doubt it unless those engines sell for a lot, so let me know in the comments if they are worth a bit. Next up is a classic truck converted Honda Civic. This one was a 1996 coupe version that's had the roof cut off, and honestly, I don't hate it. Even though the bed looks quite short, it looks like it is done so well, you could almost think it was factory. My only issue with this car, like many of the other roof jobs we've seen, is they never show the close-up bodywork of where it's been cut. This guy didn't show any pictures of the bed or gate, so that's definitely got me suspicious, even though the rest of the car seems to have had professional paint and bodywork. They are asking for $5,500, which seems a little steep, but not bad. You just need to make sure there's nothing dodgy going on with the bodywork. This is just a bonus find I found, where this person has combined a Target shopping cart into a go-kart using a Harbor Freight engine with an upgraded carb and some new slicks. It's only listed up for $850, so jump on it. Thanks for watching another episode of Garage Gold. I hope you enjoyed. Let us know in the comments which cars you would or wouldn't buy. Also, we have an Instagram page, so if you come across any strange or interesting cars, send it to us on Instagram. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next episode.